amazing.
A word for Philip McCallan, who made a courageous comeback after his crash today in the junior.
Yeah, he was going really well, Philip. I just tried really hard and managed to get a wee bit of him in the first lap. So I just did my best there.
And a word on Robert Dunlop, who also made a very, very courageous return to the TT today.
Oh, I was chuffed to bits to see Robert the 125 there. That was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant result, amazing.
Okay, Ian, thank you very much indeed. Coming up, our third TT programme of the week. An emotional day here for all concerned. Enjoy the show. The ultra-lightweight TT was Mighty Micro's proving ground today. The return to the course that almost cost him his life. An emotional day was guaranteed.
3 years ago, Robert Dunlop was left fighting for his life after a horrific 100-mile-an-hour crash at Ballough Bridge. Most people thought he would never ride again, but today he's back racing in the TT for the first time since that fateful day in 1994. Robert goes in the ultra-lightweight class, in which he was 5th quickest in practice, at an average speed of nearly 107 miles per hour.
Well, I'm obviously a wee bit nervous, you know, but again, whenever I go fast, I get nervous, so it's maybe a good sign.
Among the visitors to Robert's garage this week were two very special young fans. Henry and Adam Dolan lived beside the spot where Robert crashed in '94. Then, aged 9 and 7, they were badly shocked by what they saw that day and have followed Robert's fight back to fitness ever since.
We heard a bang and the helicopter landed there. So the night he crashed, we went over to the hospital and we made them a homemade card, and his manager, I think, came over and said he would give us his autograph because he was touched. He's a nice man and he's very nice, and he gave us caps, so that was nice of him. And he has a nice motorbike too.
And he starts on number 10. This is Noel Clegg, first away on the road then in the ultra lightweight race. Down towards the St Ninian crossroads goes Noel Clegg on the Honda. And there's two going through now. Glenn English away. Joey Dunlop. Joey Dunlop makes himself ready at the grid. Through the bottom of Bray goes number 1, Noel Clegg. Joey Dunlop waiting for the flag. And away goes Yaman. So Joey Dunlop flies off. Will this be his 23rd TT win? Everyone's asking themselves. Bottom of Bray. Lashing through goes number 2. That was Glenn English. That's 6, Dennis McCulloch. So McCulloch on the Francis Neal Honda. Looking at Braddon Bridge. Over Braddon goes 2, Glenn English. Then it's 3, Joey Dunlop. And look at the applause already, and we're only on the opening couple of bends for the man. This is 4, Ian Locker, the 250cc lap record holder, out on the 125. Bottom of Bray Hill again. Up and over Aggo's Leap. We're looking at Braddon. Through Braddon is number 6, Dennis McCulloch. McCulloch looks like he's flying, and here is the hero. Robert Dunlop returns to the TT. Number 10 on the modified 125 Honda, Patsy O'Kane Honda. And he's away then to start. Well, this is historic to see Robert Dunlop back on the bike, heading off down towards the St Ninian's crossroads. This is Locker, though, on his way. And McCulloch and Locker are going head-to-head already. Meanwhile, back up at the grandstand, the singles are about to start. They run with the 125s, or should I say after the 125s. That is Craig McLean getting away now. The 4-stroke blasting its way down, but look at Joey Dunlop. Joey Dunlop tucked right in on the 125. Well, last year he took this race. He's looking for another win here. It'll be win 23, and that is something remarkable. 46 years old, the 125 and the 250 class. It's a real study of Joey. Coming through the houses, number 2, Glenn English. Right behind him now is Noel Clegg. So Glenn English has gone ahead of Noel Clegg. Noel Clegg's going backwards, and Glenn English is flying through Kirkmichael. Look back down the track. It's Joey next up. The clocks are going unofficially all the way around this track to see who has some advantage. Locker and McCulloch are the provisional leaders at the moment, even at Kirkmichael. Enthusiasts everywhere timing these men. This 1-2-5 race is shaping up to be a good one. Locker then, out of Kirkmichael into the countryside, under the trees. Another perfect day for racing. Locker taking advantage then on the 1-2-5 and wheeling there into Kirkmichael now. Number 6 is McCulloch. McCulloch is already in front of number 5. That's Gavin Lee. So Gavin Lee has been caught and passed by McCulloch. McCulloch is absolutely charging. Unbelievable stuff. We're on board with Tony Duncan, the local man from the Isle of Man, and he's heading out towards the Glen Helen section now, and this will give you some idea of just how hectic it is. Kirkmichael flying through the streets then. White line to white line, into the houses, a real impression of speed now. Robert Dunlop. Oh, dearie me. Locker looking at Noel Clegg, and right behind Locker is Joey Dunlop. So Locker has caught and passed Joey and can't find a way past Noel Clegg. Oh dear, short circuit stuff at the gooseneck, and Locker thwarted in his efforts to get past number 1, the man who started number 1 on the road, Noel Clegg. But Locker slowly but surely sneaks his way past. Joey's got the task to do next. No such problems though for McCulloch. McCulloch on his way. He too is at the gooseneck. Look at that. Absolutely short circuit stuff. McCulloch really is. Well, at Glen Helen, McCulloch had the lead, but only just over. It was Robert and Locker. So Robert Dunlop and Locker are in second place, just 1 second behind McCulloch at Glen Helen. Robert Dunlop comes to the gooseneck. His modified left hand, his clutch and his brake is on that left hand, as opposed to having the front brake on the right hand by the throttle. This time though, we look out over the veranda. And now I can tell you that the weather is perfect at the top here. Oh, right out to the white line. Well, superb shots as it heads on down to the bungalow. Number 2, Glenn English, is flying as well. He's moved up to 4th place. Joey Dunlop's now behind him. Joey had a 1 second lead at Ramsey, but it's now English who's moved up into 4th place and displaced Joey back 1 place. Back with McCulloch. Oh, and a study of McCulloch there as he heads through the left-hander. Brilliant stuff from McCulloch. He really is making that motorcycle work. Got his gearing absolutely perfect for the conditions, which certainly weren't perfect this morning because it was delayed for 2 hours before this start. But Robert Dunlop is really on it now. Look at Robert. Well, a slightly unusual style from that man, but he's flying anyway. Number 2, that's Glenn English. English has moved up to 4th place. Still Robert Dunlop in front of him, and Locker almost equal, but it's McCulloch that still leads. We're looking at Locker. He's in joint 2nd place, but they are just a short distance behind McCulloch. Over the line for the first time, it's English. He is the leader on the road, crosses the line now. We're going to have to wait a while till we can get the corrected times as the other riders come across the timing lights. Will McCulloch still lead this race? We're going to find out very, very soon. This is the end of lap 1. The light is now on at the grandstand for McCulloch. We're going to find out shortly just where he is. The bottom of Bray. 220 corners to negotiate on this track. Just look at English flying on that 1-2-5. It's hard to believe just how good it is. McCulloch leads, Locker leads English. 2.1 seconds back to the 2nd place man. Robert Dunlop, a superb 4th. Joey Dunlop in 5th and Gavin Lee in 6th place. Heading away from Ballacrane now. Oh, and Ian Locker is really going for it now. He's in 2nd place and he wants that 1st place. That is number 2, Glenn English. That is Robert Dunlop. He looks determined as well. He's just passed number 8. That's 8th place, Gary Dines, and that's 1st place, Dennis McCulloch on bike number 6. The green flag is out for McCulloch. McCulloch still leads. Right at the end of lap 2, first man into the pits is Glenn English, and he overshoots the stop box, but he still manages to stop with 1 foot down. Straight in there, number 2, Glenn English then. Next up, 4, Locker, rear wheel right up in the air. These men determined to get fast in and out of this pit. Too fast though, because otherwise they won't get enough fuel on board, and that is going to be critical in this 1-2-5 race. Here comes McCulloch. Up on the ramp. That is to get the front end of the motorcycle up in the air so they can get the maximum amount of fuel into the fuel tank. McCulloch waits while Joey cruises in there. Well, no big hurry for Joey Dunlop. Joey Dunlop has dropped down to 8th place on the end of this 2nd lap. McCulloch, though, still leads it. And waiting for the maximum amount of fuel. He's off the block, pulls it off the block, and away goes Dennis McCulloch. McCulloch really has showed his class in this race. 5 there is Gavin Lee. He's in 6th place at the end of lap 2. He's away too. Superb pit from all of these 1-2-5 men. Right, let's watch this. Robert Dunlop comes in. He is in 4th place at the moment. Robert Dunlop is in 4th behind Glenn English, but he's closing on English. We're at the end of lap 2. Liam Beckett, his mechanic, asks that Robert is okay, because this is the only point the mechanics get a chance to check on Robert to make sure that he's physically okay. This is the longest race he's done for some time.
Go! Go!
And they're out of there. What a fast bit for him as well. Well, Robert Dunlop really showing his mettle. Oh, and the bike won't fire up properly. It's 8-stroking like mad. And he's got it going. Robert down pit lane, visor down, he's on his way, he's in fourth. Can he do any better than that? Second place man, Locker now. Absolutely flying, the bike sounds perfect. This is the bottom of Bray Hill. McCulloch leads by 7.2 seconds on Locker. English plus 8.5 on Locker. Now then, if Robert Dunlop finishes in fourth place, will his team protest the man in front of him, Glenn English, because he didn't stop in the stock box? Well, that's something for a little later in the race, I'm sure. We're looking at Locker, second place. Over Bluff. Here's McCulloch, still the race leader. He's being chased hard now by Locker. But McCulloch really does look a class act on the Francis Neil Honda. Over Bluff for him. Robert Dunlop next into the picture. Buried, that's a very familiar sight indeed for 125 riders. There's Glenn English, and oh, McCulloch has caught him. McCulloch has caught Glenn English on the road as well. So McCulloch really going for it now. This is Locker. Locker is going to have to work so hard if he's going to win this race. We're at Ramsey Hairpin. And at Ramsey, McCulloch leads by 1 second from Ian Locker. Locker has a 21-second lead over Robert Dunlop, who's now third, with a 9-second lead over Glenn English. So the order is changing. Robert Dunlop is charging. He's in third place. This is Joey Dunlop. He's in seventh. Well, he had revving out problems on that bike and has spent 2 hours at Derby yesterday to sort it, and he hasn't sorted it by the looks of it. McCulloch still leads. He's at Ramsey. Oh, and it's short circuit stuff. Look at this. Glenn English tucked right in behind McCulloch. Towed up through waterworks now. Locker is closing. Just a second still separates the race leader from Locker. Locker is really piling the pressure on Robert Dunlop here. 9 seconds in front of Glenn English, who's battling away with McCulloch on the road at the moment. Robert up there. Oh, and he's got a problem still. Has he still got pins and needles in that left arm? No, Glenn gets it wide at Ramsey, almost visits Fred Clark. This is Dennis McCulloch and Glenn English still battling on the road, but will McCulloch still have a lead at the end of the trip down the mountain, because Locker was challenging all the way, and McCulloch may have led by a second going up the mountain, but now coming down, we're going to find out in a moment. The moment of reckoning is coming. Has Ian Locker done enough to grab the lead in this 125 race? At the end of 4 laps then, number 4, Ian Locker comes to the checkered flag, but we've got to wait until McCulloch comes down the line to see who has taken the race win. McCulloch led up the mountain. Is it going to be Locker that takes it? Glenn English there, he's still hanging in there. He has to beat Robert Dunlop on aggregate time across the line. Closer, closer, the grandstand is counting down. This is going to be a close ultra-lightweight TT, and where is McCulloch? Confirmation has McCulloch in second place. Ian Locker did indeed take the win. Robert Dunlop, though, was the hero of the ultra-lightweights.
Physically, how do you actually feel now? How's the hand?
My hand's very good. It's, as I say, it was my good hand I was having the trouble with, and that's why I've changed my leathers for the race, and it's worked out very well.
At one stage, I'm sure you probably thought you weren't going to be back competing on the island, so how does it actually feel now to get round competitively and get a podium finish as well?
Well, as I say, I'm just very pleased, very happy. I never think I would see the day, but it's come.
I don't think there's a person here who's not delighted for you. Well done, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So an emotional return to the island for Robert. Coming up in part 2, it's the Junior 600 race.